the quiz that you guys have on Monday is going to be a little different than a normal quiz. Okay? So on this quiz, you're going to have to be able to identify the frog organs, which organ's the liver, which is the gallbladder, and so forth. And also tell what the function of that part is. Okay, so two things. And I'm going to be showing you a presentation like this. And on this presentation, some different organs will be labeled with numbers, and you'll have to just say what organ is the arrow pointing to. And then you'll have to write down its function. So that's how the quiz is going to be set up. So I'm going to go over with you right now all the organs. We'll go over what they do. I'll tell you sort of some hints to find them as well. Okay? So this is what the frog looked like when you dissected it, you know, when you open it up. So let me ask you, raise your hand if you can tell me what organ. All three of these arrows are pointing to the same organ. It's an easy one to identify because it's the biggest. It's got that grayish color. There's several sections to it. John, what is that?
Liver.
Yeah, that's the liver. Okay, so this and this and this, those are the three lobes of the liver in the frog. So that should be not too difficult. Gray, big, right in the middle. It's like the first thing you see when you open up the frog. What about the function? What does the liver do, Kat?
It makes bile and filters out.
Yes, it does two things. It makes bile, and it also helps to clean out and filter the blood. Now this organ is sometimes a little more difficult to identify. The hint here is where it's located. Because this probe is touching it, and the probe is holding back what?
The liver.
The liver. So it's something just underneath the liver. It's round. It's a little ball. Now the color in this picture I don't really like. When you guys saw this yesterday, it was usually yellowish or greenish kind of. What organ is that pointing to? Yeah, that's the gallbladder. It's underneath the liver, a small little ball. Who could tell me what the gallbladder does? Christian?
Slows the bile.
Yeah, the liver makes the bile and then sends it to this gallbladder, which stores it until it's needed. All right. Now this one is a tough one. This is one of the harder ones to recognize. Okay, what we're looking at is a very, very thin tube. It was only found in some of your frogs yesterday.
Oh, yo, I got this.
Alex?
The sperm duct.
Yeah, that's the sperm duct. So if you could see, I'll show you, it's this, I'll trace it with my mouse. This tiny little tube that's going down here, that's the sperm duct. Here's one on this side. It goes here, really, really small, really curly. Any tube that's that tiny, it's the sperm duct. Okay? And the job of the sperm duct, raise your hand if you can tell me, what does it do? Kat and Christian are the only ones that know any of the organ functions.
Oh, releases sperm.
It carries sperm to the cloaca, yes, from the testes to the cloaca. Now, some of you saw this, some of you did not. Again, depending on if you had a male or female frog. This is that stuff. It looks like kind of mashed potatoes or cauliflower or something like that. Chris, you know what it is?
Yes, the oviduct.
Yeah, that's the oviduct. Now, it may have been, in some of yours that had eggs in them, they might have been filled up with eggs, so you can't see them that clearly. But some people, there were not that many eggs, and you could see it. But that stuff in there is the oviduct. Now, notice it's much bigger than the sperm duct, right? The sperm duct you could hardly see. The oviduct, there's a lot of it. And that probably makes sense if you think about the female has to hold all of those eggs inside of those oviducts. And so it has to be large. The sperm duct just carries the sperm cells, which are really small, from the testes out of the frog's body. So it doesn't have to be big.
Do the female frogs also just have all the eggs when they're born, or do they make eggs?
Good question. They make eggs, I believe. They will produce new eggs as they live. Now, I heard some people say, I don't know if it was this class or the other class, oh my God, my frog's pregnant. Why is that not a true statement?
Oh,
Because they're dead.
No. Zach?
because they don't carry the baby.
Yeah, frogs don't get pregnant, right? When we say something's pregnant, we mean it has a baby growing inside of it.
Fertilizer?
Frogs just have eggs or they have sperm and they release them outside of the body. So frogs don't get pregnant.
Do you have any more tissues, Mr.
I don't think so, not right now. at least.
Hey, Mr. Duroff,
Yes.
How would you say that my frog's fertilized or something?
No, my frog has eggs in it. That's it. Because the eggs aren't going to be fertilized in the female. All right, Alex. So the oviducts bring those eggs from the ovaries out of the frog's body through the cloaca. All right, this one is pointing to those two bumps up here. No, not the holes, the bumps. Those are the frog cat. Yeah, they have a special name. Okay, they're called the Vomerine Teeth, but they're just these two bumps. Remember, frogs don't have teeth like ours. They just have these two bumps to sort of grasp onto their prey because they don't chew their prey. They basically just hold on to it and swallow it whole. All right, so now get into some digestive organs. So the probe is touching this towards the bottom part of the frog. It's part of the digestive system. Anyone know what part that would be? Alex? Yeah, that's the large intestine. Notice, so what's this?
Oh, that's the small one.
Small, and then when you get to here, it gets wide. That's the large intestine that the arrow's pointing to. Okay. It's called large because it's wider. It's actually really short in the frog, but it's much wider than the small intestine. And the job of the large intestine is to absorb water from the food that's been digested. Now in this picture, a bunch of organs have been removed. So when I was coming around to you guys yesterday, I kind of had to move organs around to show you some that were in the back. Now in this diagram, a bunch of organs have been removed. All the digestive organs are gone. So that you could see back deeper into the frog. And so way in the back of the frog, there's two of them. It kind of looks like one here, but there's actually two. They're brownish, reddish color, way in the back. Zach?
Kidneys?
Those are the kidneys, yes. Kidneys help to filter the blood and form urine. What is this? I've already told you about this
Sperm duct.
sperm duct.
Balls.
What are these two things? We didn't.
Testes.
Testes. Connected to the sperm duct. Okay? Produce sperm.
Why are they so high up into his lungs?
Just where they are. Lots of animals have the testes internal, inside the body. Remember we talked about human reproduction? Humans have testes in the scrotum outside the body, but lots of animals they're inside. You can't see them. Lots of animals you can't tell if they're male or female by looking at them from the outside, including reptiles and mammals and so forth.
Lungs.
Raise your hand, please. Up high. These you could tell by the texture, sort of. They're spongy. They're kind of, the ones you guys had were more gray. These are like redder sort of color. But yeah, those are the lungs. They're up high. They're behind the liver and stuff on each side of the frog. I had to sort of go back there and kind of fish them out for you to see them. Their job is to take in oxygen, get rid of carbon dioxide. Raise your hand. Alexa? That's the stomach. It's on the frog's left side. It's just underneath the liver. It's shaped kind of like a banana. That's the stomach. What's it do?
Digest.
Raise your hand. Kim?
Makes food into time.
Yeah, it liquefies food, helps digest it into chyme. It has hydrochloric acid in
Isn't it called like time or something?
it. Yeah,
Wait, I called it chime. Is that
chyme, it's fine, it's fine.
Isn't it chime?
Raise your hand. What is this pointing to? This arrow.
Oh, I know.
Javante?
This is spleen.
Well, you know a good. So the probe is on the spleen, correct? But this arrow. You know what this arrow's touching here? This is the spleen. This little red round ball. What's this? John?
The large intestine?
Close, but not quite. It's a small intestine. This is the large intestine here, because it's wider. That's the small intestine. Javante just said this one, the spleen, this little red ball. Okay, it's deeper. You got to sort of move aside the intestines and stuff to find it. Its job is to recycle red blood cells. Easy one. Raise your hand now. How about somebody new that has an answer to a question? We should all know what these are.
Big bird.
Ava? Fat bodies, yep. Their job is to store energy, okay,
That one's
to be used during hibernation. This one has a ton of fat bodies. Depends on your frog and you know how much it had been eating and so forth. Some of you only had a little bit of fat bodies, some of you had more.
What's the peppers?
What's up?
What's the peppers? Fat bodies.
Zach?
on the heart.
That's the heart. Yeah, right in the middle. It's up high, it's above the liver. Here you can clearly see it's 3 chambers. Okay, 2 atrium and 1 ventricle. Remember the name of this? Eyeball. Right behind the eyeball. Zach? What? Yeah, it has a name. Tympanum. That's the eardrum on the frog's outside of the body. The nicotine membrane is the eyelid. Obviously, it's the frog's tongue. What's different about it, John? It's attached in the front of their mouth rather than like us in the back of our mouth. It allows the frog to quickly like unfold it and fold it back in to catch its prey. So it's like whoosh, whoosh, grabs whatever it's trying to capture. All right, so those are the organs. Hopefully you could know most of them, what they look like. So on the quiz, basically you're going to get a sheet. They have 2 sides, 10 questions on each side. I'm going to show you a presentation like this with pictures, with numbered organs and arrows. And you're going to say, okay, what is arrow number 1 pointing to? Arrow number 2 pointing to? And on the other side, you have to write its function. And that's the quiz. 10 organs you'll have to identify out of the list I just gave you.
So what does the spleen do?
Excuse me?
What does the spleen do?
It helps to recycle red blood cells.
Oh,